In the nation's capital, the House of Representatives adjourned for a third day without electing a speaker. It's more than just a political battle between California's Kevin McCarthy and hard-right Republican holdouts. It is also holding up the nation's business.
Yeah, the House of Representatives is essentially paralyzed until a new speaker is selected. Joining us to talk about all of this, East Bay Congresswoman Barbara Lee speaking with us from Washington, D.C. Of course, she can't leave because she has to vote. Thank you for being with us tonight to help us understand. There's a lot of people right now might see this all as just more political theater. 218 votes are needed in order to become the speaker. Are you hearing that they are really any closer to a deal, or could this just go on through another day?
We're hearing through press reports, again, according to Kevin, that they're getting closer. But that's right now. Who knows what they'll say in the morning or what will take place. But I'm telling you, this is unprecedented. We have, and I serve as a teller, which means that, you know, the Democrats have two tellers. It's myself and Joe Morelli from New York, and the Republicans have two tellers. And we have counted votes 11 times. We've had 11 ballots. Now, can you believe this, the type of chaos and the type of disarray that the Republicans are in? And can you imagine Kevin McCarthy being able to count votes if he can't even count enough votes to become speaker? This is scary and it's dangerous. Look at, I worry about our adversaries looking at us and saying, what in the world is going on? And we should be very careful in terms of how, and the Republicans should be careful in terms of what they're presenting to the world at this point.
The Democrats certainly have a pretty good hand to play, considering you're in the minority on all of this, because the Republicans are showing they're fractured. How are they going to get legislation done with the slim majority they have without Democratic help? Is that kind of how you guys see this? No matter who they elect as speaker, you're going to have a big say in what happens.
They won't be able to get anything done because they don't know how to govern, or they don't want to govern. And I have to tell you, when we were in the minority the last time, when Speaker Pelosi, who was Leader Pelosi, was the leader, we won almost every battle because of what you just said. We did not let them get away with anything. And so under Hakeem Jeffries' leadership, who has been getting more votes, we're unified. He's getting 212 votes. McCarthy has gotten no more than 200 votes in this. Yes, they're going to have to come to us if they want to do the right thing and work on behalf of the American people. But if you ask me, given what we're seeing now, I don't really know if they want to do that. I think they want to create chaos, and they just are doing this to promote the right wing. And of course, the Freedom Caucus, they're doing this to, in many ways, they're taking on Trump's job on Capitol Hill.
So President Biden calls this embarrassing, but there are some real practical implications for citizens and for the nation. You can't have committee hearings. You can't find out about intelligence. Nobody is sworn in. You don't have staffs working. What if your constituents need something from you or your other House members?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, I had requested a classified briefing on Iran. I do a lot in this space, in the foreign affairs, global, national security space. We could not have that classified briefing because members are not, I'm a member elect, just like new members are members elect. But you know what? With constituent services, I dare them to tell us we can't provide constituent services. My office is open, and we're going to continue to be advocates, and we're going to continue to serve our constituents. And hopefully they'll elect a speaker sooner or later. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to do the work of the people. And in no way would I let my constituents be not served and not be able to provide constituent services myself to them because of the charade and the chaos and the disingenuous antics that are taking place here on Capitol Hill.
Tomorrow is January 6th, the 2-year anniversary of the insurrection at the Capitol. The roughly 20 hard-right conservative Republicans that are holding all of this up, 17 of them, my understanding is, voted not to certify the election 2 years ago, and here they are apparently holding up this new Congress. What are your thoughts about what's going to take place in the Capitol tomorrow?
Well, these election deniers, that's who they are. And tomorrow we're going to have a solemn ceremony on the steps of the Capitol. It's a day of remembrance. It's a day of commemoration. It's a day to really, once again, pray for the families of those who lost their loved ones and those who were injured, to honor our police officers. I was sitting on the floor that day and barely made it out. And so it's a day to reflect, but it's also a day to say, look, we are not going to let this happen again. We're going to hold those accountable, and we're going to continue to move forward. But I tell you, our democracy is very fragile, as was seen on January 6th, 2 years ago, but it withstood the test of time, and it withstood all of the insurrections, and we did have a peaceful transfer of power. But this was an attempted coup. And so tomorrow's a day, once again, we're going to do our work, and we're going to hopefully let them elect their speaker. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that the Justice Department will look at, and I think they're doing this in a very expeditious manner, looking at the report from the January 6th committee and holding Donald Trump and his insurrectionists accountable. And I'm finally just saying I'm the lead plaintiff in a lawsuit against Donald Trump and the Proud Boys and all of those who instigated this attempted coup. And we're moving forward, and we're saying in our lawsuit that no one is immune for causing this kind of attempted overthrow of the United States government. And so we're moving forward with this lawsuit.
Congresswoman, so going back to what's happening right now with the Freedom Caucus, McCarthy has already given a lot of concessions if he were to become Speaker. Does that only affect his speakership? If there's another speaker later, do the rules change all over again?
Yes, the rules change depending on who's in power. Okay. And what McCarthy is doing, he's changing all of the rules, which have been very democratic. And I just have to say, I hope people are witnessing what's taking place now and how organized we were in delivering resources and investments for the American people under the leadership of Speaker Pelosi. But each Congress, if you're in the majority, you have the opportunity to change the rules in your making. And so what they're trying to do, and the Freedom Caucus is trying to say, for example, that one person can call a vote to oust the speaker. Well, okay, he's given them that. And I mentioned this last week to someone that the longer this vote goes, the more worried I become about what in the world our democracy is going to look like, and what is going to take place on Capitol Hill that's going to prevent us from governing. And so we just have to continue to do the work. We're going to continue to do it with the Senate, with the Biden administration, and keep on going. But they're trying to revise these rules in a very undemocratic way.
Congresswoman Barbara Lee of Oakland, I know it's late. It's close to 11:30 at night there in Washington. We appreciate you taking time out to talk to us. Hope you get some rest. And I know it's going to be a busy day tomorrow, and hopefully this will get resolved soon, because we can all criticize the government for a number of different things, but not having any government at all is even worse. So we want to back.
And I'd like to get sworn in too. You know? Yes. And I wanted to say, I hope everybody stays safe with the floods, and we have on my website links to where you should go for information and what to do. So please be careful.
All right, Congresswoman.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Barbara Lee.
Have a good night.
Thank you.